השרת, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. מלאכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום,
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's nice to be with you on this Erev Shabbat here together. Weather kind of holding a little bit, kind of nice, different, little winter, little Florida winter.
That's why they keep it so cold in here during the week.
Yeah. So cold in my office. I was hanging beef today in my office. It was so cold. Freezing in there. Really, I was hanging beef. I had like a A1 sauce.
You know it's cold when you see your breath inside the sanctuary.
I know. I was wearing mittens. It was very cold. So we are thrilled that you're here. Of course, those of us here in the sanctuary, thrilled. Those of you who are watching on our live stream, hello, Shabbat Shalom to you as well. Cantor Muchnick over there. I'm Rabbi Keller over here. Hello. You can join us and pray along and chant along with everything that will be happening for us on Erev Shabbat. Here you can go to our website, cbiboca.org, cbiboca.org. Top left corner, and you can hit the word menu, and then services, and then scroll down, and you'll see the Purim, the face of Cantor Muchnick.
They captured it before my mask.
Without the mask.
Right.
And there's a button there that says prayer book or Siddur, and you can follow along with us virtually if you'd like throughout our service. So we're excited to be able to hang out and to celebrate with you on this Shabbat. Let go of the week a little bit to appreciate Shabbat. We get this beautiful gift of these 25 hours that we get to choose whatever we want to do. They should be different. They should be different than what we usually do on Fridays and on Saturdays. We should find these special moments that we can be together and to celebrate. And so we can't do any official further celebrating of Shabbat until we light Shabbat candles, because the candles on Shabbat are the official things that help us to transform our regular Friday into special time. And so we're going to continue with the lighting of Shabbat candles. If you're in your Siddur, either your real one or your virtual one, they work the same. We're on page 2 for the lighting of Shabbat candles. After the lighting of Shabbat candles, we'll be continuing with connecting the brilliance and light of our candles into the further sweetness of Shabbat with Kiddush. And we're going to need some assistance for us to be able to light those candles. And that is some family from our B'nai Mitzvah for Shabbat, 10 o'clock a.m. Fernandez family will be celebrating, so we need Adam and Haley to join us, and we also need Daniel to join us, and we need Wanda to join us up here on the bima to light our Shabbat candles and also to further sweeten our time on Shabbat with our Kiddush. All right, so we're on page 2, everybody.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Now that our Shabbat candles are lit and our time becomes sanctified within the Sabbath for all of us, we get to, like I mentioned, further make our time sweet with Kiddush. That's now on page 5 in your Siddur, if you're following along. And we're going to ask Daniel and Adam to help us with the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim Ki vanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava u'v'ratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen.
We will see more of you tomorrow at 10 o'clock at our Shabbat morning service. Woo. So now that our Shabbat candles are lit and our Shabbat sweetened further with our Kiddush, we are going to go further into Kabbalat Shabbat, appreciating the presence of Shabbat together. And we will continue with the words of Zamru. This is the back half of Psalm 98, and it is on page 16 in your prayer book, page 16.
So before we start with Zamru, I wanted to just take a moment to teach you the words to the part that you will all join me with, hopefully. Now, it's really complicated, and if you don't get it the first time or the second time, certainly by the third time you'll get it. So everyone repeat after me. Yai lai lai lai. Lie, 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 lie. I know. Who was thinking of those words? Like, what were they thinking? But we'll get it, okay? New melody. Probably haven't heard it before. Maybe some of you have, but I believe it's a new melody here for CBI. La
It was really nice.
Wasn't it?
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I like that one.
That Lili part was really confusing
Yeah,
though
very,
for me.
very complicated.
Some
Yai,
real-
or is it lie?
I
Is
had
it
a lot
lie?
of trouble
Yeah.
with the Lili. It was the words were, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like made out of Sanskrit or something.
Yeah, so after the lie was lie. Oh, I got it. Okay, good.
You lose count very quickly.
It was really pretty. It was really pretty. We continue in our beautiful section of Kabbalat Shabbat, appreciating the Sabbath bride, taking the time to spend these 25 hours with us, making everything a little sweeter, a little better, a little more connective. Maybe the challah tastes a little better, or wine tastes a little sweeter, or rest more sweetful and filled with, is that even a word, sweetful? Sweet, filled with sweetness, so that we can appreciate Shabbat together. We're going to be continuing with the words of Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And we're going to stand and face the door to welcome in the Shabbat bride with that bottom verse of number 9. So 1, 2, 5, and 9. We continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20. Page 20.
Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha ishmi'anu el hamecha Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila Chala P'nei Shabbat nekabela echadodi nikrat kala. P'nei Shabbat
Please be seated. We continue now with Shabbat Kaddish. That can be found on page 26. 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, מהומה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Lol Mehamaya Yitbarach, Yitbarach Ve'ishtabach, Vitpar Vitroma Vitnase, Ve'itadar Ve'itale Ve'italal Shemei de Kudesha Berichu, Le'ela Min Kol Berchata V'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru. Amen.
Continue with our call to worship, Baruch Hu, on page 28. And together we stand, page 28. אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מעריב ערבים וחוכמה פותח שערים ולבנה משנה עתים מחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Continue now with Shema, page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue Vahafta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, there's eternally Egypt. There's a better place, the promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together in the words of Micha Mocha on page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא 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 תהילות עושה פלא.
That's a good ending. I like how that ends. It's really good. It's really good. You know what's interesting is that it's me playing the keyboard. It just looks like it's him.
He's actually singing too.
Do it. Yeah, it's me. You can't see it, but it's really me doing it over here.
I'm just a cantor model. That's
right.
That's
it. That's right. So as the days get a little darker, we begin to really, really appreciate the words of Hashkivenu. We really appreciate the words that God creates for us this idea of good counsel and shielding us, creating shelter beneath God's shadow of God's wings, defending us from enemies and illness and war and famine. And so as we think of the section of Hashkivenu, which is on page 42, we also think of the idea and the thought that in the middle of all of this, in the middle of this darkness, we also connect to this idea of love. And we use the words from Let There Be Love in our beautiful section here of Hashkivenu, again, which connects us to page 42.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
More than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people connected and strong and committed through either our local communities or our world community, continuing Shabbat and appreciating Shabbat. And so we continue to appreciate Shabbat with the words of Vishamru on page 44.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בהני ובין ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת Shabbat v'yinafas v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ושמרו בני ישראל את
Continue now with the Amidah, which can be found on page 46, and together we stand.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekone HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Ve'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We take some time now for our own silent prayers, thoughts, and meditations, beginning here on page 52 through page 62. And when you're finished, please be seated. continue on page 62. If you don't look very closely at one little section of the Torah portion this week, you might just miss it. And it might seem insignificant, and you might just read on with the rest of the Torah portion, which is a great Torah portion, which we'll hear a lot more tomorrow from our B'nai Mitzvah. But you might just miss it if you don't see it. And particularly if you are, like me, a huge Moses fan. So I'm a huge Moses fan, if you don't know this about me. I'm in the Moses fan club. In fact, I know him so well and have hung out with him so often and written so much about him, I just call him Mo, because we're buddies. And I feel like I have a close relationship with him. And so, because of that, the Torah portion is slightly complicated for me, because this is the only Torah reading from the book of Exodus, because there is no Moses in the book of Genesis. He's not born yet. So from the moment that he's born, in all of Exodus, in all of Leviticus, and in all of Numbers, that you don't hear his name. He is not mentioned anywhere in this week's Torah portion. He's vanished. Now, some people might think, it's a coincidence, look a little closer, trust me, and it wasn't me who put this together. Far more brilliant people have figured this out. He's not in there. But this is how the Torah portion starts. So the Torah portion is called Tetzaveh. If you hear very closely in the word Tetzaveh, you hear the word mitzvah is in the word Tetzaveh in there. You kind of hear the connection. Do a little nod for me that you are conscious and hear me. Great. Okay, excellent. So that was particularly directed towards Kendra Muchnick. Are you still awake? Great. Okay, great. All right. So Tetzaveh is about mitzvot. It's about commandments, and it's mostly really connected to the cool commandment that connects to the eternal light, and also the cool outfit that Aaron gets to wear because he's the high priest. So the Torah portion is called Tetzaveh, and the beginning of the Torah portion says literally, Ata Tetzaveh. That's how the Torah portion starts. And Ata means you. Y-O-U. You command the Israelites, is what the text says. So who is you that we're talking about? And this is not rhetorical. Anyone want to guess? Who is, when the text says, you, Ata Tetzaveh, you shall command, who is you? Maybe it's Aaron. Great. Who else? What's that? Moses. Now, it could be Aaron, but Aaron's going to be the subject of much of the conversation, so it's hard for him to be in both spots at once. So it's actually Moses, but it doesn't say Moshe anywhere. It doesn't say Moses. It just says you do this. You. So some of the commentary says, if you don't like Moses, I know why he's not mentioned here. You. Because it revolves around commandments. And if you know this text in the last few weeks very, very well, the Israelites made a huge mistake. What was the Israelites' huge mistake in the last few weeks? They made a huge error. They built something. The golden calf. They built the golden calf, and when they built the golden calf, God actually says to Moses, you know what? I'm done with them. They're driving me crazy. I took them out of Egypt. We went through the sea, and now they're building a calf. I don't like them anymore. I want to get rid of them. And it's Moses that actually says the sentence, if you're literally in the Torah, if you're going to erase the Israelites, erase me too. I'm out too. So some people say, because he says that to God, Moses, his name is erased. Because he says, erase me. So his name is erased. But the other commentaries over here, the one that like Moses a lot, think that his name isn't in here because God doesn't even need his name to communicate with him. Because of the connection they have, and because of how who else has the courage to say to God, you know what? I don't like your plan of I don't like this threat that you have against the Israelites. I'm out too. Who says that? Moses. And so the other commentary says that the you is only a conversation that can be had between people who know each other. Hey, you, or love you, or the little names that we use for our friends or people that we care about. We don't even use their names. In fact, there's a whole section of the commentary that says, really, what's the purpose? Listen to this cool part. I didn't write this, so it's pretty cool. What's the purpose of your name? Really, the purpose of your name is not for you at all. It's for other people. Because you know what you're doing. Names are created for other people to communicate. And so the switch here is that God doesn't even need to say Moses. God can just say you and have this beautiful relationship with him. And so if you're on the side of non-Moses fans, then it makes sense his name is erased because he goes against God, and that's why his name isn't here. There's also a commentary, by the way, that the rabbis concluded that around this time of year is when Moses' death is going to be. So it's also like a preamble to that that's a little bit mumbo-jumbo-y for me, but it says it in commentary, so I'm going to mention it. So if you're on the side of, ooh, I want to beat Moses up because he goes against God and now his name's erased, or you want to go on the side that says, ooh, no, bravo, thank you for sticking up for us, because clearly it worked, and the special relationships that's then created, that's on the I am on the Moses fan side. So clearly you know where I sit, because I told you I'm on the Moses fan side. And so I invite us on the Shabbat to think of how we interact with people when we use their names, when we use our name. Are we saying, when we talk about you or me or us, how is that relationship constructed? Is it beautiful and meaningful? Is it fleeting? Do we throw concepts and names around? Or do we really take a deeper look at what's going on? And if and when we do, by the way, according to sort of my side, my view of Moses, then you get rewarded, because it's Moses that gets the special relationship with God. And by making these special relationships with the people that we deeply care about, it changes us too. And so on the Shabbat, like I said, I invite all of us to deepen these relationships, and not just to go by our name, but to maybe even experiment with this idea of, hey, you, because the you that we can create is obviously with people that we deeply care about. So I hope it's Shabbat filled with good, deep relationships, and also a good time for you to wear your Go Moses shirts and support Moses, because it's Moses. I mean, I also like him. So, there are challahs outside when you leave. So if you're not a Moses fan, you don't get one. But if you are a Moses fan, you can take a challah on your way out. We're going to double check. Yeah, just kidding. So I hope you have a wonderful Shabbat, and like I said, support our connections with another. Shabbat Shalom to you all. We think of those in our community who are in need of healing, a physical, emotional, or spiritual healing. We think of those in our community. We think of Chava Leah Bat Esther, Gary Bandel, Lillian Bushell, Sloan Caston, Brian Church, Karen Coles, Chuck Curry, Casey Daskell, Mark Davis, John Day, Jaden Deal, Jill Gottlieb, Judith Dratler, Margot Engel, Bobby Fitchman, Herbert Fitchman, Stuart Fruman, Martin Edelman, Chava Reina Bat Esther, Ellen Hedrick, Larry Horn, Paulette Howard, Stan Jacobson, Ira Kafka, Shirley Kafka, Gary Kane, Bonnie Kleiman, Michelle Kingen, Esther Rhoda Kaufman, Stuart Kruger, Gloria Land, Michelle Liebman, Michael Medoff, Linda Greenblatt Neuwirth, Arnold Plotsky, Gloria Plotsky, Elliot Porwich, Mark Rosenberg, Joy Rosenberg, Lexi Schlesinger, Jason Seidman, David Schwartz, Ezra Shashua, Diane Spiro, Gloria Spiro, Barbara Weiss, Ashley Weiss. To those names, we had any name that you would like to add at this time. Continue now with Mishaberach, our blessing of healing, 253 in your Siddur. 253.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha May the source of strength bless the one and let us say,
With the numbers going down a little bit, we have lots of announcements about really good stuff coming up at CBI, and many things, God willing, that are planned to be in person for us to celebrate together. So I have about 2 hours worth of announcements for you to share on this Erev Shabbat. One is the Nagel Family Virtual Jewish Film Festival is coming up. It's on February 16th. It's virtual. It's on Zoom. Movie called With No Land. It is hosted by that guy right there and this guy right here. So you get a twofer. You get the cantor and the rabbi for us to host. And it's virtual. However, if you register, and it's on our website, you can, when you register, you get this like enhanced experience. You get like a complimentary to-go box to enjoy the movie. It comes with like popcorn and snacks and milk duds and all kinds of other stuff. The grand prize winner has Cantor Muchnick drive around to your house and knock on their door and say hello. And no, that part's not true. But everything else about the box is true. So please register for us to have our movie together and snacks. Still save the date. There are a couple of micro spots left for Henry Winkler, February 26th, here at 7 p.m. We have coming up on February 27th, that's the day after, that is on Sunday morning at 9 a.m., we have coffee and conversation with our clergy. So you'll be able to hang out with us underneath our tent. That's open to everybody. And it is a discussion of the week's Torah portion with some cool angles and some cool stuff we're going to be talking about. And because it's a Jewish event, there's food. So please join us for a nice breakfast snack and an opportunity for us to study together. There'll be coffee and snacks and all kinds of fun stuff to discuss the Torah portion of Pekudei. But register, please, so we know how much food to get. So if you're coming, register on the website and come. That's on the 27th at 9 a.m. Remember, I told you I had a lot of announcements. NCECE, which is our preschool, and SLJ, which is our religious school, will be hosting on Sunday, March 6th, our Purim Carnival. So you can join us, and it's fun for all ages, all kinds of stuff. Clowns and magicians and carousel and arts and crafts and pizza and treats and singing. Susan's going to be there, and Cantor Mushnick's going to be there, and I'm going to be there, and there's like a bungee and a trampoline and a rock wall and a whew. They tried to get us, did you know this? They tried to get us into a dunk tank. Did you know this?
Tank. Excellent.
We said no. But they tried to get us into a dunk tank. So that's on March 6th. And on March 16th.
March 16th, our Purim spiel this year is set to the music of the 80s, classic rock, and power ballads. So you're not going to want to miss that, especially if you want to see Rabbi Keller with hair.
It's good hair.
Yeah, it really. I've seen
I got some good hair. It's going to look really, really good. Also, it's not even out yet, but we can tell you that that following day, so Erev Purim is the spiel, the next morning, which is the 17th, we are doing for the first time ever an opportunity to come and hang out at 11 a.m. We're calling it a study about the Book of Esther and breakfast bites, along with mimosas and Bloody Marys, because we're supposed to be celebrating as part of the mitzvah of Purim. So you can join us and study the sort of adult version of the Book of Esther, and also have some libations and breakfast bites to hang out with us on 11 o'clock. And Kendra Mashik is going to drive you home. That's right.
That's what I do here. I'm an Uber.
We are seriously, if people are interested in hanging out and doing that, because it is the mitzvah on the Chag, if you do need a ride, we are going to have rides available for anyone who wants to come and partake, because it is a mitzvah for you to partake in celebrating and having a little libation. So if you do need a ride home, we will have rides home for you, not just Cantor Muchnick, to drive you home. So remember I told you I had lots of announcements. Those were all of the announcements. Am I missing anything?
No.
Yeah, I don't think that was possible since I said everything. So, also, we'll be having 3 upcoming, I think next week, right? Next Friday after services, we'll be having an oneg in person outside in the tent. So please join us outside, join us for the service, and then right after there'll be a beautiful food outside in our tent for us to schmooze and interact with each other outside a little more safely. We'll be doing that 2 more times. We have a March date and an April date for us to do that as well. So that's also coming up for us to have finally, God willing, an oneg together that we can see each other in the middle of this mess.
The one in April is April 8th, which is going to be our Disney Shabbat, which you don't want to miss either. So the oneg will be right after that outside under the tent.
And it's going to be a Disney-themed oneg. So,
which really just means very, very, very expensive food, but it's the same food that
Exactly.
you get any other day of the week, right? Okay.
Everyone gets churros, but each churro is $600.
Right.
So they're very expensive churros.
Disney themed. Got it.
Yes. We are going to begin to conclude our service with Eleni and Kaddish. Eleni can be found on page 282 in your Siddur, 282. Together we stand.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We transition our thoughts now, as we will in a moment continue with Kaddish Yatom, with Mourner's Kaddish. We think of, in the period of Shloshim, the immediate 30-day mourning period, Ernie Tischler, Hannah Fredericks, and Arlene Roth. And in our Yortzites that occur for us this week at CBI, Morris Averbach, Barry Cohen, Barry Castillo, Ann Fass, Frida Fisher, Lawrence Fisher, Elizabeth Harris, Bernard Hollander, Alfred Jacobson, Edward Kaplan, Pinkas Kawa, Rella Court, Sidel Laubstein, Helen Medoff, Bernard Reiter, Carl Schneidkraut, Teresa Schwartz, Cliff Suchman, Brett Turk, Minnie Rosenthal Zuckerberg, Herbert S. Werner, Rosalia Wilkes, Abraham Yasmin, Natalie Zoll. To those names, we had any name that you would like to add at this time. Kaddish Tom Warner's Kaddish 294. Itgadal v'kadash me'rabah ve'alma divrach cheruteh ve'amlich malchuteh v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chay dechol Beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen.
Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, as together we say, Amen. Please be seated. We are going to conclude our service on this Shabbat with Tfilat HaDerech, a blessing for our journeys into Shabbat and on our way.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be a blessing. Amen.
Shalom, may God give strength unto our people to continue to bless us with hope and strength and love and peace. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.